Good morning. Hey. It's another beautiful day in the neighborhood. What was I gonna say? It's raining. It's fall time here in the Northwest. And, I was listening to the economy. I'm not gonna go off on a political rant or anything by any means. But it kind of ties into that. Listening to a deal about how to talk to people, especially around the holidays, subjects come up and don't come up, and people are talking about the economy, and it was talking about politics a bit, and how we get, I won't say snowballed, but and it's not gaslit either. Sometimes it is, but not all the way. It's just talking to people and how you deal with certain subjects and everything. And so and they were saying, if people don't like hearing about the economy, because right now they're cranky. Okay? And I get it. It's a reality. But there is where I kind of wanted to bring up that topic. When you talk with people, be real. If you were going to run as a candidate, be real. You're talking with people who probably go through different cycles, different than you or different than yourself, of all walks. So you've got to be real, because otherwise it exposes your ignorance. It exposes where you stand, and if you are trying to bullshit them. Okay. One of my things is that if you're real about topics, you can do things with tact. But if you're real about topics, okay, you don't have, it's like the old saying that don't lie, or because you end up having to go backtrack over your lies, and get stories straight. And so you just be real with people, and wow, you don't have to go back on topics. You don't have to go back on stories, and also you don't miss those things that are beautiful, that make you two connect, or make you connect with other people. Oh, bummage. And I just had a huge oversized load truck pull out in front of me. Oh well, what are you gonna do? On my way to work, and that happens. So that's kind of that falls into what I was talking about. There are times that I get pissed about it, but you're still, at the end of your breath, you're still behind that person. Okay? I got nothing but love for you. And anybody that should ever hear this ever again, I'm not out to make money off of any of this, and I'm just doing this actually for therapy on myself. To vent and to be real. If you go through a phase where someone is mourning and you're feeling up, you're feeling good, okay, about the day and all that, you gotta embrace what they're going through, because it keeps it real, and vice versa. If you're going through mourning and stuff, that, you know, or if you're going through a really down period, it's okay to be lifted up by somebody, but if you come across somebody who is nothing but sunshine, rainbows, and butterflies, chances are you want to start beating them about the head and shoulders or whatever. You don't want to be, you want to kind of, excuse me, I'm right at the peak of all this, I'm not ready for that feeling. You know, I get that does happen, but with tact, you can be real. We have politicians that are gaslighting constantly. We have a president right now that everything is going fine and everything is, I mean, okay, to keep that reality check, or to keep that you know, perspective, in order to make people happy, I get it. But that's like walking into a funeral and going, hey, and being a comedian, as they call it, too soon. You know, it's bad timing, lack of tact. And at some point, not in touch with reality, not in touch with what's going on. So, be real with people, okay? Because you can't please everyone. You can't. And so, the best thing to do is to be real. And God, if you're going through a lot of stuff and no one is understanding, you can hang in that for a little bit to try getting yourself, you know, corrected. But try to figure out what it is. And you've got to learn to pull yourself out. You know, you've got to. Because despair, I've always seen it as like hooks in your back. And they will drive in deep in that flesh, and they will hold you and hold you and hold you from going forward. And it's going to be painful, it's going to be ugly, it's going to hurt like hell. It's okay to touch onto grieving, it's okay to touch on that stuff, but at some point you literally have to look at the time and go, okay, I got to get up in the morning. I got to do this. Otherwise, I'm going to end up in that situation for somebody else to be mourning on me, or to be grieving against me, you know, or for me. So, that's what I wanted to say. Got nothing but love for you. I know I ended up doing a double here, but it must have been meant to be said. Have a good one. Have a beautiful day.